Hey everybody, it is Libby with Fearlessness. What's fearlessness? It's that underlying grit that empowers us to forge ahead as entrepreneurs when hope seems distant. It's the courage to walk through those fires of hell, knowing that we're going to come out better and stronger on the other side. Stay tuned and learn how to get fearlessness. I'm your host, Libby DeLucien, and we have a very special guest today, Beth Eldredge, and she is famous. She's some kind of famous. Maybe she wants to talk about what she's famous in. Maybe she doesn't, but I'll let her introduce herself.
Okay, hi. Yeah, I'm Beth Eldredge. I know Libby through coaching. We are coached under the same program, Cleaning Business Fundamentals, and I'm so excited to be here. I feel like I'm in the presence of greatness when I'm talking to Libby. I always learn so much from her. But yeah, basically, I've been in my cleaning business. I've owned it for the last 20 years. My husband Walter, he runs the cleaning business for me, so I can coach and do all the other things that bring me so much joy. One of the things that I'm working on right now is it's called Social Media for Success. And as Libby had mentioned, during the pandemic, I had gotten a pretty bizarre following on TikTok. I think we're up to 257,000 followers. I'm a paid creator on Facebook as well. My business has 42,000 followers and a bunch more on my personal pages as well. And I've learned the power of video and the power of social media in just growing my own personal brand and growing my businesses. And it's been just so much fun and such a joy. I love being on camera and I love making videos and I love teaching other people how to kind of overcome that fear of video and putting themselves out there and the awkwardness of it all, and how to really, really leverage and utilize video to grow their brand. And also part of that is understanding their own personal brand, which has been a journey for myself.
So I love that, growing your business through video. I'm big. I probably compete with Beth on the amount of videos we do a week. But I think, we hear a lot of people saying like authenticity or the new currency is speed, right? Like we've heard that before. Right. So I want to push back on that and say that the new currency is authenticity.
Yes.
And what better way to deliver authenticity to your employees, whether you're doing weekly videos for your employees, to your customers, than through video? Because now with like AI and ChatGPT, we can all have speed, right? We can all be fast. Right. But very few of us can do video, and we can deliver that authenticity through video. So to me, that is the new currency, and that's where it's super competitive.
It is. And it's interesting what I've realized with authenticity and just kind of working with others on that is it's hard for people to tap into that for themselves. What does that mean for me? Show up your full self. Well, a lot of people don't know what that is.
Yeah. Or when they push record, they think it's like showtime. Like,
Right. And if I try to act like Libby or Libby try to act like me, it would be ridiculous. But I think it's really getting to know who you are and what you're about and what you want to put out there. There's parts of my life I don't share on video, but there's certain, I call them story arcs that I share that people know about me and what's going on to give them an inside scoop. But it's really, you have to know your authentic self to be authentic. So, and it's when people can do that they can find success. I think it's when they can't put their finger on who they are.
Yeah.
They struggle and they're trying to impersonate others, and then it just falls flat.
And I love that because I too struggled with the authenticity part at first. Because there were certain parts of me that contributed to who I was, but I didn't want to talk about them. Like I didn't really want to share them. I was holding back. And I think this is going to sound so funny. I was doing a Reiki breathing exercise with Dan Martell.
Okay.
when that kind of epiphany, the ability to process my past and start to talk about it through video really hit me, and that like I need to stop trying to be something I'm not, right? Because even not sharing that, I was trying to be something I was not. And I think that sometimes we try to read from a script. We try to almost plan it too much, it can like lose that authenticity. Because my husband always knows if I'm reading something off the camera.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
stop!
Yeah.
I got to remember some things.
Right. Right. Yeah. What I thought you had to do a script. And it just was it was so bad. I look at some of them and I try not to delete my mistakes. Like that's something I've learned unless I did something that really doesn't align with my core values, which very rarely we do because there are core values, but I try to not delete my mistakes because that's how we learn and others can learn and say like, look at that video of Beth. Like, why was she looking off to the right the entire time? Because I was reading a script, people. But I did it was the test we all took, the Colby assessment.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that, I believe, was I do much better. Like I know my key points and I just do much better just kind of following that outline and just being more improvisational, where other people do great reading a script. So it's just kind of finding what works best for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we talked enough about video, but we could talk more about video. So for up and coming new entrepreneurs, like what advice would you give them as far as like Beth Eldredge, the coach or the TikTok master?
Yeah.
For them to grow their business, like what are some tips that you could give them that would help them in that? Because to me, that is your competitive advantage is video.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, well, it's finding your voice, finding your brand, and starting small. So Instagram and Facebook, why am I drawing stories? They disappear. People are not leveraging those nearly enough. And just using them to talk. It's 1 minute. If you do it on Instagram, talk a little bit about their business, what they're doing. People get really into them. Really, really into
But Beth, if it disappears, then all that effort I put into it went away.
No, it's in Meta.
I know. I don't use stories because I'm like, it's going to disappear in 24 hours.
No, but that's the thing, because it creates FOMO for people. Oh my gosh, Libby, I challenge you to do a story for the next 7 days.
So I just think it's funny because I'm the kind of person I'm like, oh, wait, I put a lot of effort into that. Yeah. It's just gonna disappear.
Yeah. Yeah. No, people love them. People will wait for your stories. They're just fascinating. People who do stories, people just watch them, and you can really talk about the most mundane things, but it's that authenticity piece you were mentioning where I'm not necessarily selling something, but this is just a glimpse into my life. This is what I'm doing today. Maybe sometimes I'll show my office, I'll show my pets. So I would encourage people to get used to getting on camera that way in stories. They disappear. And the beautiful thing about social media, if it really stinks, no one sees it because the algorithm recognizes what's interesting.
They know if you suck at the beginning or not. So they're just not going to put it in front of as many people.
They just don't put it in front of people.
I was horrible. We are all going to not be great at the beginning.
And you've just got to not be great and be okay with that.
Yep. Because you just got to start. To be great, you're not going to be great when you start. You got to start to be great.
I love that. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's, I love tips. I love the video. So me and Beth were talking before we pushed record, and I'd said, you can talk about anything you want. You can talk about your cleaning business or not. She goes, well, I don't really know much about it except for the numbers. So tell us about that. So as some of the entrepreneurs listening who maybe want that,
Before we move on, I need to let you know about my friend Mark Pfeffer and his show, People Tech. If you're looking for the latest on product development, marketing, funding, big deals happening in talent acquisition, HR, HCM, that's the show you need to listen to. Go to the Work Defined Network, search up People Tech, Mark Pfeffer. You can find them anywhere.
They have, if you're a true, whatever you want to call it, CEO, visionary, entrepreneur, we like different, like we get bored fast, like we move, we want to do something else. So tell me about that transition. How was it? Like now that you went from actually cleaning the houses to now like saying, I don't know nothing about what's going on except for the numbers.
Yeah. And I was exaggerating to say no, nothing, but it's very like, I couldn't go and fill in. Like I'd have to find I have to go to the playbooks and fill in. So well, just my background, I started cleaning houses 20 years ago. I was a sophomore in college and I had just had my daughter, Jordan, and I was a single mom. And
she's a sophomore in college. No, she's a junior in college.
Junior now.
Yeah.
She just turned 21. Yeah, so crazy. So the goal was never to have a cleaning business, or certainly not have it for this long, but we kept growing it. And then we found CBF. Well, my husband, I'm acting like everyone knows, my husband joined, I would say 6 years ago, to help me run the business. So he's basically taken over the entire business, and he keeps growing it and growing it. So I don't ask questions, and we have happy employees and happy customers. So, but the transition was incredibly painful for me. It was as painful as when my child went off to college. It was
and
really
what part? Why was it incredibly painful? Like, why do you think?
It was ego. It was such a part of my identity. It was, when I found the business, I found it in crisis. So I had to do this to feed my child. And that crisis piece kind of stayed with me until I was able to actually let the business itself pass it off to somebody else. So it was just, if this doesn't work, we're all going to be homeless. Like that was always my fear. We're going to be, if this falls apart. It was just very painful and very hard. And I really tormented my staff. I'm not proud of it, but
yeah, I just recently went through something. So we downsized our office at Organize It because I had 6 office rooms, a lobby, and a conference room for one person to sit in. Like one person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we're all remote now. Everybody's remote. And I give my office the option to work remote. And I'm like, what? And there was such a huge part of me hanging on to this big fancy office with like these fun graphics and core values on the wall that was attached to my ego.
Yep.
To saying, oh, if I don't keep the office, I'm less of a business owner, or I'm not keeping up with the entrepreneur Joneses.
Yeah. Right.
Right. And finally, I just said, I don't care. Like, I just want to do what's in the best interest of the company. And maybe I want to make more profit.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Or do something better for our technicians because we'll have more profit.
Right. Right.
And so it was 100% ego driven that I kept that office longer than I should have. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think ego's not even necessarily a bad thing. A lot of it's just like, that's our survival instinct, right? So it wasn't even necessarily like trying to be pompous or anything. It was like, this is my survival and I can't let this go. Like, if without this, what am I? So it was very tied into identity and
So survival, I remember sharing an article about why we are all exhausted after COVID. I shared it like a year ago.
I remember, but remind me.
And it was, we're exhausted because we've been living in this state of fear for 3 years. That article came out a year ago. So like we've been living in a state of fear for 3 years. So we're all exhausted, like just absolutely exhausted. Yeah. And I remember reading that article because, my cleaning business was only like 2 years old. I'd only started 2 years prior to COVID.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit. Chris lost his career because he was in live entertainment, live sound, lost his job. And then all of a sudden, my little cleaning company that was a hobby now became the sole thing that my family relied on. And I went into like this hyper, like survival mode. Mm-hmm. And for almost 3 years, I couldn't stop. It was like what you said, you were in crisis mode, you were in survival mode, and it was exhausting.
Yeah.
And and so if for any of that are listening that went through COVID and you feel that way and you're still operating or reacting in that kind of crisis mode, and now we wonder why we're tired or so burnt out.
And people are getting so cranky. They're just, on high alert.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, I always gave myself so much pride with, if this doesn't work out, it's okay. Cause I can work hard. I could do it again. Like if this doesn't work out, no problem. I know how to work hard. I'll just start another business.
Yeah.
But when you said that to just now, like what happens if this doesn't work out?
Yeah.
There's a great section in the book, Think and Grow Rich, that talks about why people fail.
Mm.
And it's actually the fact that they don't fear failure.
Interesting. I don't think I've heard that one.
Yeah. So it's actually, or they don't feel the loss of money, right? Because they think that they can just do it again. Oh, if we lose everything, no problem, we can do it again. Instead of saying,
hey, this is William Tincup, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about Practitioner Corner podcast. It's a wonderful podcast about the journey, the paths of how practitioners, both HR and TA, kind of go from high school, college, all the way to where they are right now. Some of the things that they've learned, how they've been successful, people that thrive around them, etc. It's a fun podcast. You'll love it. You'll learn from it. Subscribe to it. Thanks.
this will not fail.
Right.
It's a subconscious mind thing, like saying, oh, if it doesn't work out, it's fine. I'm strong. I'll do it again. And that's the way I was for the longest time.
Yeah.
And instead of saying, this has to work, there's no other option, changes that subconscious mind. So I can relate to
you know what? And that's so interesting you say that, because in 2008, when everything crashed, I was like, I'm not even going to think about it, because I'm going to succeed because I have to. I absolutely have to. There is no choice in the matter. I'm going to, and I grew. And I didn't let that fear of, no, I was tiny. It was a tiny business at the time. But I didn't let that, I would not allow that thought to creep into my mind and come into my consciousness and absorb into my energy field that that it was all going to burn down. I was like, we have no option. Like, this will work. And it did. And looking back at younger Beth, I was like, good job. Well done, you.
Yeah, awesome. So Beth, you have so many things going on, right? Yeah. You have your service business, your personal brand that you're building. And besides, I forgot to say that if you don't follow Beth, you should, just because you should check out how dapper Walter is and how he dresses. I highly appreciate a man that dresses that sophisticated.
Yes.
I always see him. And I was like, oh my God, you look so dapper today. And he's like, thank you. Yes. Thank you very much.
Yes. Yeah. And he always appreciates being told. It never gets old for him.
Yes, I love it. But so let's go back to, you have so many things going on. What keeps you motivated? Like, how do you stay motivated to grow would you consider you have 2 businesses right now or 3?
I would say, well, that's a good question. Now, when you put it that way. Yeah, I would say working on 3. Yeah.
3. I would agree, because me and Beth do coaching for Debbie Sardone and cleaning business fundamentals. And that is a business, right? Yeah. And then you're building your personal brand. So that's a business.
Yep.
And then you have your service business.
Yeah. Yep. And what was the question?
So how do you stay motivated for our listeners who may be facing like burnout? Like, how do you stay motivated? What do you do?
I just have I have a fire in me I want to impact lives, in particular, just women finding their voices, accepting who they are, not feeling like they have to conform to the norm. And I just have such a fire and a passion for that, that gets me up and keeps me going.
Awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you this question. Why specifically women?
It doesn't necessarily exclude men. But wasn't expecting this one, Libby.
So here, I'm just asking this question because I have kind of the same journey. I want to help women realize that, entrepreneurism is something that they can achieve, and how to get over imposter syndrome. Yeah. And so I'll answer the question on my part, like why, because I talk about women all the time on the podcast. Sorry, guys. We face a different emotional state or thought process when it comes to that imposter syndrome, that confidence. Women were born or raised more as that nurturing kind of caregiver, where men or boys are raised with that more, they have more confidence instilled within them as growing up. So then when we grow up, now there's all of this, like, I can do the same as you and you can be the same as me as far as business goes and roles and entrepreneurism. But women struggle with that tying emotion to decisions, to self-worth. They tie their emotions to it, not their necessarily like what they could achieve or what they have achieved. So it's a much harder emotional process or thought process for entrepreneur women, especially newer entrepreneur women, like when they're just figuring it out and they're coming up, or like with me, with my background, you know, I went through quite a few years of being emotionally neglected by my ex. And it's like, you are brainwashed for years and we can get over that. And it's still something that I always say, like, I'm jacked up in my head because I still have to work on that to this day.
Those messages are strong.
For me, that's why I really love leaning into the women's side.
Okay. And I love that. And I love that about you. 'Cause you're fierce. And I love unapologetic, fierce women, because the world needs more of us to show other women that it's okay. So for me, I was raised in an entrepreneurial family. It was all men. It was not for me though. I was supposed to be stay at home, be quiet and pretty and skinny. And that was it. Serve my husband.
Be quiet, pretty, and skinny.
Yes. I mean, they got one. I'm pretty. But and just serve your husband and serve your children. And it never worked for me. It just, from the time I was little, I just wanted more. I wanted what the boys did. And I would listen in on the conversations. But I was very much punished for it, that there was something in me that was broken. And the journey of finding my way back to myself has been such a beautiful journey, and such a healing journey. And I was able to heal it generations. Like, my daughters didn't have to see that. And to be able to share that with women, and you don't have to look a certain way. You know, you don't, all the things we're told we have to be. It's just not true.
Absolutely.
And the world needs us as we are. And when we join together, it's just, I mean, we're unstoppable.
100%. So, and that's why I love Beth. I want to ask you about your daughter, your youngest daughter. Ellie, right? Evelyn.
Yes.
She is close to the same age as my daughter, Yaya. Is she like 7 or 8?
She's actually 10.
Oh, she's 10.
Yeah.
So you have a 10-year-old daughter. We know you have your older daughter who's a junior in college. And then I have Yaya who's 6. And so I feel like Evelyn and Yaya are very, they could be related.
I do too.
They could be related. They're both very sparkly individuals.
Yes.
And so growing up the way you did, now being a business owner, what are you doing with your daughter? Because I don't know her that well. Like, we've met a few times. But I feel like she has an entrepreneur spirit in her.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
My daughter's the same way. Yaya is either going to be a horrible boss because she's going to boss people around, or a great entrepreneur. Can't figure it out yet.
Yeah. We say the same thing about Evelyn. She's going to change the world, for better or worse. We're not sure yet, but she's going to change it one way or another. So what am I doing different?
What are you doing different?
Yeah. So just about everything. She's very intuitive, and I was always told that those intuitive thoughts I had were wrong, like actually evil. Like, I was really given bad messages about just that inner knowing. So with her, I really allow her to explore them, and I encourage that, and allowing her to tap into that part of herself that is true to her. And she has very big feelings. I don't know if Yaya does.
Oh, yes, she does.
Oh, very big feelings. And it's just, that I was always told I was too much. You're just too much. And so with her, you can be as big as you need to be, and I will love you, and I will hold space for that. You do have to be safe, and you have to be kind, but you can be as big as you can take up as much space as you need to. And she challenges that every single day.
Oh, my daughter does too.
Yeah. So, I really hope they get to meet sometime. And then it's, putting her where she needs to be in school. Like she's not certain schools just would not be a good fit for her. I would love to homeschool her like you're doing. So, yeah. And it's just you are absolutely a whole wonderful person, just the way you are.
I love that. With Yaya, we homeschool her, but 3 days a week we have someone that does the school with her. We don't do it. And then 2 days a week, Chris and I, well, mainly Chris, helps her. But I couldn't imagine what they would say to my daughter if she was in public school.
Oh, no.
And, I think in America, we have like one of the most sophisticated public school systems, but if you're an entrepreneur, I know, I'm just trying to be nice. If you're an entrepreneur, you did one of two things in school. You either failed at it, like you were horrible, you didn't do a good job, or you learned to gamify the system.
Yep.
Right. Only one of two.
Right.
I gamified it. I could figure out how to good grades. That's easy. Like I learned how to manipulate the system to get through it. Yeah. Without getting in trouble or getting
imagine that. I can't imagine you.
But I'm raising my daughter, and I saw this with the boys too. I homeschooled Billy and Austin until they were about in middle school, and then they chose to go into whatever grade they wanted to. I think one went in at 7th grade to public school, and the other one went in at 8th grade. But I always reference this book, the EPT book, the Entrepreneur Personality Type. He talks about, if you feel like your kids have an entrepreneur gene in them, because all entrepreneurs operate on some sort of spectrum, right? And that's why you may be sensitive to light or noise, or you can focus, you can do deep work, you can't, like you have ADD, we have ADHD, we have dyslexia, name it, we have all of it. But, the school systems are not made for people with that entrepreneur sparkly brain. So if you have kids and you're listening and you're an entrepreneur, you may be raising another entrepreneur.
Yes.
So if they're struggling in school, it may be a reason. Like think back to when you were in school. I didn't struggle because I gamified it. Right. But I love that you're giving Evelyn that space to grow. And, so yesterday, Yaya, she can do almost anything she wants. Yeah. We don't really care. I let her dress herself, which is horrifies me every day because I have to look at what she put on and I'm like, are you colorblind? But I'm just like, oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
But yesterday she was crafting and she decided to get Gorilla Glue in her hair.
Oh no.
So we spent 2 hours trying to get the glue out of her hair.
Oh no. Were you able to?
Yeah, somewhat. I had to cut a little bit out, just a little bit.
Okay.
But it's like, how do you not crush those? Like, she was just crafting. She was trying to create and invent, and she was playing and having a good time.
I know. So, have you heard the Maine Coon cat story with Evelyn?
I think so. I don't know.
Okay, so I'll make it real quick. She came up with this business plan to make $78,000 breeding Maine Coon cats. And it was like, she did the math. She, vet bills, how many are going to make it. She did all of it. It was good. She nailed it.
What's a Maine Coon cat?
It's those giant cats.
Oh, yeah. That look like, I know what, they got the spots kind of like, they look like.
Yeah, they look like, they're just these huge giant cats. And so it was brilliant. And I was so proud of her. And she was like, okay, so I just needed an investment of $10,000. And I was like, oh no, we're not getting Maine Coon cats. And she cried for like 3 days. Talk about trusting her spirit. She's like, but you said it was a good idea. You said it was work. My math was right. And I was like, but honey, we're not. So I don't think none of them are going to get through unscathed. Childhood unscathed.
That's so funny. So let's get back kind of on track with business. We talked about our kids enough. But you're busy, you got kids, you got a husband, you got some businesses going on. We talked about what keeps you motivated because there's so much going on. Do you have any like morning rituals or things that you do to help you stay focused, to help you stay in line?
I do.
What are some things you do?
I do. And that's my biggest struggle is focus. So I have a whole morning routine, and I just switched it up this week. I do yoga every morning, and I did hot yoga at 6
Ooh.
a.m. this morning. I found a studio that's lovely. But I
bet
do.
you feel like 5-10 pounds lighter.
Oh my gosh. And so bendy. Like do you ever do it?
Yeah, I used to do hot yoga all the time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so flexible. So every morning I get Evelyn ready, and then I do my yoga, my meditation, my breakfast. And then I don't normally start my day till about 10 in the morning, but I decided to try the hot yoga at 6 a.m. and start earlier. So I'm trying to switch up my habits a little bit, but I have to have that moment, that meditation, and really do need, because I am so cerebral and everything's always in my head, that doing yoga or some kind of exercise just gets it from my head into my body. So I'm not like swirling all day long.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We love that. I did yoga this morning.
Okay.
So love morning routines. I think that if you're struggling with focus, this is going to sound so counterintuitive. Put some time aside for yourself. If you're listening, like it's not always about working, because you can't work at your prime, like that top 1%, if you're not balanced, taken care of.
Yes, I believe that 1,000,000%. Yeah. And
everybody's like, but Libby, I don't have time.
Right. Yeah.
Everyone always says, stop and take a break. I recently have added clarity breaks to my calendar.
Okay. What does that look like?
It's just breaks where it's nothing but like thinking clarity on certain things on the business. It's not like I'm not working. It's still work, but it's more where I need to get clarity on this topic, on this business, on this idea, or maybe I need to get clarity on a problem maybe that we're facing. So adding those clarity breaks where, you're stopping and there's nothing on, you're just, I would say,
passive, or are you taking action? Are they just passive, you thinking, or are you?
They're just passive.
Okay. I love that.
I ask questions to myself.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But they're just passive.
Okay. I love it.
To kind of gather your thoughts and, when I say no electronics, but I'm writing on an iPad. So,
okay.
I'm not a paper fan. So, but try to not do electronics. They've been really great. They help. They could be at night. They could be early in the morning before kids get up.
Yeah.
But just taking that moment for intentional thinking.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to wrap up soon, but, reflecting on your journey, it's been long, like 20 years, you said.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything that you would have done differently knowing what you know now?
I think, I would love to be one of those people that say absolutely no regrets. But that wouldn't be true. I wish I would have asked more questions when hiring professional services. It would have saved me a lot of heartache and pain. I'm a very trusting person, like naively trusting at times. And I wish with my daughter Jordan, I wish I would have had the wherewithal to be more present with her. Because I was just survival, work. And I think she suffered because of it. Although it also made her stronger, I would have done that a little bit differently.
I love that, because my 26-year-old, I was present a lot. But he always says to Austin, his 16-year-old brother, he goes, "Man, you're lucky because you got the calm version of our mom."
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, because now I'm just, all the things I've learned from coaching, like I'm just asking a question. And so now that's how I deal with the kids. They're like, "What is wrong with you?" like, so what do you think about that? So I totally get that. I feel like I was the best parent I could have been at that time, but because I was under so much stress and survivor mode, my 26-year-old got the not calm and level-headed version that his mom is in, working on today.
Yeah.
But I think I was too young to know that either.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't think I could have changed it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So what is next for you? What can some of the listeners expect to see Beth rolling out? Do you have anything that you're working on? Any secrets in the background?
I do have some secrets, but they are secrets.
Oh.
So still
we'll put Beth's contact info and her handles in the show notes so that you can follow her to see what the secrets are.
Yeah. So both in the cleaning business, we've got some exciting stuff going on, very exciting stuff going on there. And then in just in general with branding and all of that. So
awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So, Beth, I want to thank you for being a guest on the Fearlessness Podcast. And for our listeners, if you enjoyed this one, you can find more episodes on thefearlessness.com. And we want to thank our sponsors, WootRecruit, for always sponsoring our podcast, and they do a great job at that. And so, guys, that's a wrap into the heart of fearlessness. Remember, every step we take is a move towards our own strengths and courage. Keep walking through those fires, because on the other side lies a version of yourself that's unstoppable. I'm Libby, reminding you to embrace your fearlessness. Until next time, stay brave, stay bold, and keep pushing forward.
Love that.